Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and today is Friday, January 10th, 2020. The tarot card for today is the Six of Pentacles, and this one comes to us from the Lowrider Dachshund Tarot, an adorable deck, obviously, with all dachshunds, and the cards are, I guess you would say, elongated. They are going in the other direction, which is a change from our standard format. Now, first thing I want to say is full moon blessings to everyone. By now, if you don't know it, you must be living under a rock. Today is the full moon penumbral lunar eclipse at 20 degrees Cancer, the second to the last Cancer eclipse of this series, meaning that when they're done, they won't be back around for 9 more years. We already saw the partner to this eclipse, which was a solar eclipse in Capricorn that occurred at Christmas. So the good news today is that you're finally getting to the other side of this eclipse season. It will end on January 24th when we have a new moon at 4 degrees Aquarius. Now, so far as this full moon is concerned, I have done a 26-minute tarot guidance video that talks about each sign, what it means for you, not just this moon, but the other things that I'm going to mention in a moment, and also the tarot guidance itself. It is part of either of my subscription packages available on Patreon or in my members only area on Facebook. But to listen for free, you may go to your app store and download the Podbean app, and it is there for your listening pleasure. And I certainly hope you take the time to enjoy it. It is very informative. It's also across all podcast platforms, so if you have an iPhone or an iPad and you want to use their podcast app, that is fine as well. You'll find it everywhere. Now, back to business here. What else is going on today? Uranus, the planet of shock and surprise, right on the same day as an eclipse. Oh my lord, Uranus is going direct. So there is no telling what might happen, and I do cover that as part of the full moon video. One of the other things that you'll be feeling right now, which is building, occurring on the 12th, is a conjunction between Saturn and Pluto. Like the two heavy hitters that are way out there in the galaxy. Did I mention this is a rare conjunction? The last time it occurred was November 7th, 1982. I can certainly relate to this time frame and the type of transformation and endings that began then and took place in my life. And I'm sure if you think back, you can think of some powerful events as well. Now, the next time we're going to see it is not until June 15th of 2053. So you can see this is a very rare event, and the things that are taking place in your life right now are extremely, how can we say it, pertinent to your timeline, okay, in a very dramatic way. So that's why I recommend listening to that full moon video if you can, get on either subscription platform or hop over to Podbean or any other podcast platform. Now, let's talk about the card. I usually don't talk this long before I get to the card, but there's a lot of important things that I wanted to mention there. Now, if you take a good look at this image, it is so timely, okay? It is about sharing and caring, all right? We are all different from one another, and in spite of those differences, being able to be generous and act in a humanitarian nature toward your fellow humans is a big deal right now. Many are hurting and need your kindness, and it works both ways, okay? You would be surprised what you receive in return. So whether you're on the giving or the receiving end of any charitable efforts today, this card may be cute, but it speaks volumes as to the what do I want to say here? That behavior is not quite the right word. Atmosphere, I think, is a better one that we need, around the world for people to be able to come together and share in these things. But there's also a more powerful message here today, especially with all of the energy that could be bogging you down. All those things that I mentioned are extremely powerful today. You know, a full moon on its own is usually enough for most people to deal with. But this full moon is an eclipse. Uranus is going direct. That can, have some implications that you can't even predict. And then this rare conjunction, which is forcing you to face the things in your life that you need to change, especially where that Capricorn energy falls. That's why I'm saying you might want to listen to some of those guidances I have out there, because this is big and it's going to define your life for the long term. Which leads me to you, and how are you feeling? You may not have it in you to give, so today may need to be a day of self-care for you, one where you just see what it is that you need to do for yourself. Was one of the explanations that I often give with this card, especially there are those out there who have a tendency to be givers to begin with, is that you can only give so much before it's all depleted and you have nothing left to give. And some of you may be feeling that way today. Okay, it is always advisable to remember to, as you're giving of your time or your resources, and time is the most important thing we've been given. All right, so if you remember that, you'll always take that little bit of time out for you. It is not being selfish when you tell someone no. Okay, that's a tough thing to say sometimes, because it does sound like I'm advising you to be selfish, but when you're there for everyone, and it's just like where you just collapse and there's nothing left, so what do, right? Yeah, this is a big deal. When I saw that the Six of Pentacles was our card for today, I thought, well, surely we could have something more appropriate. But when I looked at the card and I saw what we have going on, I was like, no, this absolutely does belong here. Because, whichever way it's going, whether you're, wanting to pay it forward or you're needing to, withdraw from that, it is a very valid card for today. So if you get a chance, listen to my full moon reading on Podbean. I want to thank you all very much for being here. I'll see you here again tomorrow, and as always, have a great day.